And this is how this race ends. 6 kilometers to go, all downhill, but I'm just hobbling along because I cannot bend my right leg at all anymore. So that knee is completely gone for the day. Welcome in beautiful Crans-Montara. Just picked up my race bib. Met Matthias, a fellow runner who will be towing the line tomorrow with me. Probably the last time I'm going to see him. He's a much faster runner than me. But it was good to see him. Checked into my hotel, all good with a nice view of the mountains. And now just going for a little shakeout run before the race and enjoying the scenery, enjoying the sunset. It's really super pretty out here. Sun is setting right now, and yeah, gonna be towing the start line tomorrow morning. 108 kilometers, 6,000 meters of elevation gain, so hopefully the weather is gonna be fine. Already got an email that it's gonna be pretty cold, around 0 degrees on top of the mountains at night, but it should be a nice race.
First edition of the White by BTME. Good luck to all of you.
This is it. Let's go! Two kilometers in, and as usual in UTMB races you have your typical congestion, simply because there's so many participants, and as soon as you leave the concrete and go on a single trail you're basically stuck, which in my case is of course not that bad since I'm a slow runner anyways, so it gives me a chance to take a breather, but you have to know this getting into UTMB races. 5 kilometers in. Just had a few kilometers of smooth running by a small creek. So really nice to get the legs going. And I believe I'm looking at the first real mountain that we need to climb, which will be this little fella. But really nice trails. Merci beaucoup. Alright, first climb done. Roughly 12 kilometers, 900 meters of elevation gain, and now descending into the valley behind me, and so far it's really pretty. Nice trails, weather is awesome so far. Sunny, around 13 degrees, so perfect running weather. Just left the second aid station. 22 kilometers done. Roughly 3 hours. Now I'm 1 hour ahead of cutoff. At the last checkpoint it was just 20 minutes, which is to say that I suck at climbing. Somewhat better at downhill, I suppose. And yeah, get some food, get some Coke, filled up my bottles, and now it's gonna go into the second climb, which I think is a rather steep climb. It's 1,000 meters of elevation gain on just 4.5 kilometers. So I believe it's up this mountain or so. So that's gonna be a tough cookie, but yeah, let's get it done. Damn, this mountain is tough. 3 kilometers, 900 meters done. Fuck me, so steep, but we're almost there. Up there is the Gemi Pass. This is where we need to get. Almost there. Merci. Second climb done. It was tough. An hour and 40 minutes for just 4 kilometers, but made it, and now we have a rather smooth descent, they say, like 12 kilometers and 1100 meters of elevation loss, so should be fine. Had a warm tea, went inside the ski station up here, warmed up for a couple of minutes because it's actually somewhat cold up here, maybe like 6-7 degrees, but I hope running is gonna warm me up again. Alright, see you down there. Amazing. This is why we run. Seeing those fucking epic landscapes. Makes you forget all the pain. Well, not all of it, but some. Despite filming, you should watch where the actual track is. I was so amazed by this that I actually missed the turn, so now I'm walking back. But look at this. Here we go. Just passed the 4th checkpoint, and now I'm just starting the 3rd climb. 6 kilometers, 1200 meters of elevation gain. So another fun one. But yeah, once I'm getting to the top, I'll have both half the distance and the elevation gain. Really tough climb again. 2.5 hours now. And I made like, I don't know, 5-ish kilometers and 800 meters of elevation gain. But I believe the summit or the pass is close. So going all the way up here and then crossing over. And I assume that this is the pass that we need to cross. I really hope that it's not a false summit, because I don't want to do this climb anymore. Also, I have the feeling that my knee is flaring up again. It's something that I had last weekend already. It went away while running last weekend, and now it seems to be back. So I hope that it's gonna be okay, because I have 3 major downhills coming up, and I cannot do those on a bad knee, so fingers crossed. What a fucking climb, hey?
Horrible. Allez, c'est bien les gars. Allez. Super. Bravo.
Merci. Fuck me, that was hard. And now going into a steep downhill all the way to Adelboden. Let's hope my knee holds up. Made it down the mountain, and look at this brewery. I really would love to drink a beer or 8. I guess that's what I'll do once I reach the finish line. Whew. Tina. Alright, just left the aid station in Adelboden. Spent, I think, like 25-30 minutes there. Got a plate of pasta, some fruit, cheese, crackers, changed clothes, put on my headlight, and now it's into the night. 2 more climbs.
Aumenta no meio.
31 kilometers to go. One more mountain, the biggest climb. Just had a nice nap, 20 minutes. Some good food, cheese, crackers, avocados. I'll get some more food and then I'll conquer that beast. My goal is to get to the top in like 5 hours, which would make it around 7, I suppose. 6:30. And then descend into Crans-Montana back again. So hopefully I'll be done around 9 a.m., 10 a.m. So 24-25 hours. Fuck me, that was a tough climb. 1500 meters. Took me over 5 hours to get up there. Super cold, raining the entire time. Basically put on all my gear. 2 jackets, 2 long sleeves, rain pants. But this was the last real climb. Now we have 18 kilometers downhill to the finish with just 216 or so meters of elevation gain in between, so should be fine. And the real pity is though, I think it's a really breathtaking landscape. Unfortunately, I didn't really see anything in the dark. Now the light is coming out and you can kind of see how it looks like, even though it's quite cloudy and everything, but I think you can imagine. Anyways, knock on wood, but this thing should work out. I guess I'll just walk it down to the finish line, since my legs are shattered, my knees hurt, so I'm gonna take it super slow. And then let's see, probably gonna be back in Crans-Montana by noon-ish, which means like 27 hours in total, which is slower than I wanted it to be, but going slow is my game, so I guess I should just adjust my expectations. Anyway. Left the last aid station. Again, had some fruit, some cheese, a double espresso with lots of sugar. So that should get me to the finish line. Running is not an option anymore. Knees just hurt too much. Even running on a flat, not a chance anymore. Anyways, 200 meters of elevation gain left. 10 kilometers in total. Course seems to be longer than expected. Was supposed to be 108 kilometers. Looks like it's going to be more like 115. But anyways, I'll finish before the cutoff. And then beers. Lots of beers. Cheers. Not a bridge to walk on if you're afraid of heights. Really nice. Merci.
Allez Maxime. Maxime Cousteau, new finisher on the line. 333 finishers for the moment. This is 108. Congrats, Maxime.
Bravo Maxime.
Merci.
Good job. All is okay? Yes. Your leg is a little bit...
Knee is damaged, yeah. That's okay.
Did you fail or not?
No, I just pushed too hard on the downhill.
Okay.
Merci.
Give you the prize, the beer, the
Perfect.
local beer, the
Be- be-
local cheese,
Awesome.
and the tickets to lunch.
Awesome.
Okay? Non. Nick, s'il te plaît. Alors, t'as d'autres
attaquer la grosse descente, les grosses pentes la nuit s'est mise à tomber, j'ai allumé ma lampe.
Félicitations. Bravo.
Bravo.
Bravo. Félicitations.
Bravo David.
David Matet, 26h01.
Gratuliere dir, ey.
Félicitations.
13,51, Alter.
Hast du es gesehen?
Ah, Anita hat mir geschrieben, ja.
Ja, war gut.